be shown. We tested for 6 weeks, and in 6 weeks, we found what would have taken us 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
Wait, say that one more time.
In 6 weeks, we found vulnerabilities which would have normally taken us 5 to 7 years to find.
And
So Mythos
but these are vulnerabilities where?
Sorry?
These are vulnerabilities in your own code base?
In our
or
own
in
code
your
base.
customer? Oh, in
In
your
our own
own
code
code.
base.
Oh, wow.
So Mythos was not oversold. It was legit.
The capabilities of AI in being able to assess vulnerabilities in code are real. Not just that, if you put it on ultra mode, which is persistent thinking, so it keeps trying until it gets an answer, you can actually daisy chain vulnerabilities, i.e. finding a new attack path into your vulnerabilities. Now, we pride ourselves as a top percentile of companies that test our code because we're in the cybersecurity business. If you take that and compound that across all the companies that exist in the world that write their own code, or the 10 million developers write code, this thing is going to find stuff which would have taken us 10 years to find.
How much did it cost? Like, did you track the token cost? Was it $100 million, $10 million?
No, it was in the low millions. But again, the cost, as Sarah said, the cost curve is going to come down. Already announced a project for $5 billion to fix open source. That's the biggest problem.
What would have happened if Claude didn't have the restraint and they put it out in the public? Do you think it would have been like a real attack vector and caused chaos in corporations?
I think we're 3 months away, if not already there, from this being available in the wild.
What happens to SaaS?
Well, you see, SaaS is, as Bill said, SaaS is different pieces, right?
Okay.
If you're an analytical SaaS company, it's over.
It's over. What is an analytical SaaS company?
Somebody that says, I'm going to collect a lot of data for you and analyze it for you. I don't need you to analyze it for me. I can run models against data and analyze them myself. So if you think about, there's a lot of, every SaaS company has a marketplace. You can buy Salesforce Marketplace. What do they say? You have Salesforce data. I'm a marketplace app. Take me and I'll help you analyze the data. I don't need you.
You don't need that.
I can just go run an LLM against the data.
With a SaaS product with 20 seats, nobody was logging in and using it, but the data was there.
Yes.
So we created like 3 accounts, got rid of 17, connected it to Slack, connected it to Claude, and now everybody can interface it through natural language, and we've reduced our bill by 90%.
Conceptually, should be able to do it. Shit, we're spending $1 trillion building these agentic backends. We need these agents to be able to do it. If that happens, UI goes away. If UI goes away, I can rewire my system of work, right? I have sales guy shows up and says, I had the sales call, do all the paperwork and all the shit that needs to happen in the back end of the company, and just, I'm done.
Right.
If I can change the way work happens, which is where you will get true efficiency, where 5 people become 1 in a company, all these SaaS software that does system of work needs to be re-engineered for the next 5 years.
And it's also happening.
Differentiated view about models and how they will evolve versus what we heard earlier from an OpenAI perspective. I still believe models are going to become a utility layer. You'll be able to buy intelligence on the fly, or you can say, I don't need a 180 IQ person to go do this task. Give me 120 IQ, and I need a 250 IQ to do this task. I'll pay $10 for this, and for this I'll pay 1 cent. So I don't know there's a one-size-fits-all, give you the most up-to-date model to answer my customer call saying, sorry, sir, I have no idea how to solve your problem. So I think models will get differentiated from a utilitarian perspective. So if you look at already what's happening in the market, right? The profit pools are in applications, not in models. I think we're in a global race. I don't think holding back our models for 3 to 6 months is going to help us any. Somebody else is going to put them out in open source. I was shocked to hear when I was talking to the CEO of one of these model companies, he says the entire weights of their most recent model can fit on a USB stick.
Oh, say that again? The entire weights?
The entire model weights of their newest model fits on a USB stick. That's the IP.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Because all the data can be distilled in under 24 to 48 hours when the model comes out.
I'm curious.
So that's the IP. So are you telling me that, we can hold on to that for 6 months?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about?
Yeah.
Is the false positive rates on the models. What is the false positive rate on 4.8 and 5.5?
No idea.
You guys don't talk about it. You should. The false positive rate on Mythos was 30%.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So it thought it found something, but it hadn't.
Yes. So the problem is, it's great for attack, it's horrible for defense. Because it finds 30% of the time, it finds something. I found a problem, and you say, let's plug the hole. Wait, there wasn't a hole there in the first place.
No missile inbound.
Right.
Yeah.
So now the same problem applies in enterprise. If you use a model without the right harnesses, the right training, you could be running into 10, 20% false positive rates. Let's use the model to pay, insurance claims.
Yeah.
Oh, great. 10%, 20% false positive. I just lost money.
The sycophantic nature of these is ridiculous. Yeah.
So the problem is not who wants the newest model. The problem is how do you take that model with 20% or 10% false positive and make it 0.01% false positive? In my business, I want 0%.
Without losing the false negative.
Sorry?
Without losing the negative, the false negative.
Yes, but it's like saying, hey, let's take the new self-driving car. Mercedes is going to use Opus 4.8, and you can just sit in the car and it's going to drive you. I'm not putting my kids in that car with a 10% false positive rate. Are you? Right. So there's a lot of work that happens post the model, which needs to happen to make these things useful and effective in the business context.
Let me...